Here we are at the Mecca in Swindon for the Tank Promotions Best of the Best evening. I've just been passing through, and our good friend, family friend, we like to say, Tom Barkham,
Hello,
MC
mate.
extraordinaire.
Hello.
How are you doing, mate?
Yeah, all good, thanks, Dan. All good. Yourself?
Yeah, really good, thank you. Really good.
Good to
Took
see
the
you
drive
boys again.
Yeah, took the drive down from Derby today. Especially, obviously, Clint normally does this.
Yeah.
I'm stepping in as usual, but I'll always have to do that.
For Clint.
Yeah. So yeah, it's quite interesting actually, because Clint and I were talking. We did a bit of an interview in the ring earlier. We were thanking various people. Your name came up. You know, obviously we would not be here if it wasn't for you. And I know we always bang on about this, but we've met so many friends. You know, it's been an incredible journey over the last year, 18 months. I walked through earlier, people are hugging me, and I never knew them a year ago. It's great. So yeah, thank you, mate.
No, it's good. It was that initial Teams call with the Mevagissi show, and he mentioned it that he wanted to do it, and I wouldn't have put names forward to go and do it if I didn't think that you could get it off the ground, because there was like that gap in the market for something like this. And you know, did I think it would blow up like it did? No, honestly, I didn't. But that's testament to you guys, to Clint, to Pete on camera as well. You know, your whole team. You know, you got the Fury, the big guys who work for the Furies do the camera work as well sometimes. You know, you guys have gone from strength to strength. So just needed that initial foot in the door. So I'm happy that I could help.
No, absolutely, mate. I mean, we've had some random inquiries. We've got a booking on the 1st of June, which is for an event, a charity event in London. It's got nothing to do with sport, whatever.
I know what that one is.
It's
music
it's.
one,
I had a phone call. I was at work, and this lady rung me up. And she went, "Hello, I'm True Blue," and I was like, "Hi." And then when I did a bit of Googling and whatnot, I was like,
who she was.
Right,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
I used to like the garage music back in the day, and I'm a big fan of vocalists. And yeah, she was telling me about this is what's going to be happening, and we're going to have a green room, and there's going to be these celebrities there, and we want Clint to be there. And I'm like, wow, you know, one minute it's boxing, the next minute it's music events and charity events. But you know yourself from MCing, you've done poker nights, darts nights.
Yeah.
I think you've done snooker nights as well. Have I missed anything?
No, well, actually, yeah, I hosted my daughter's dance show here in this very room.
Oh wow! Okay.
just a few weeks ago up there, introducing the dancers and the performers on stage. So yeah, that's I think that was the only one. Yeah, but that one's, you wouldn't know about that one.
So you're not MCing this evening. I think
No.
Drew's got that bag. What are you doing anything to help? I'm sure you'll get stuck in.
Oh yeah, timekeeping tonight, so I'll be ringside.
Yeah.
Walking out with Clint when he goes down to the ring. So it's good for me. You know, I can cheer for who I want to cheer for. I don't have to be. I can be impartial. I'm just timekeeper. So all I've got to do is press button.
That's what I love about this industry. Everybody seems to help each other out and get involved in some way. You know, I was speaking to Rich earlier. It's probably the calmest I've ever seen him in all the events I've done with him so far. I think everything was organised in advance, and I think we've had a few boxers that have arrived late for the briefing, but everybody seems to be switched on and know what's going on.
Well, this show's going to be huge, and it just shows, you know, we go on about how Rich's shows are better and each one gets better and better, but this one, with you look at the names that you've got on there, the big hitters, the female prize fighter, you know, it's another good one. It is the best of the best. He wouldn't have named it that if he was getting, you know, journeyman in and dross. Do you know what I mean?
It amazes me how these promoters actually sort of come up with a list, or you know, speak to boxers and you know, just try and match up as fairly as possible, and make it an exciting event. You know, it seems like an operational nightmare to me, or a logistical nightmare, but I guess if you know everyone, you know what's right, that's it. And actually, I mentioned this to Rich earlier, I've spent many hours of an evening watching YouTube videos of fighters like Rich back in the day, and others, Craig Ledbetter, and I came across yours.
Yeah, well, which one? If it's the one where I stopped Michael Thompson in 72 seconds, that's a good one. Yeah. You don't need to see the one where Benji Waller stopped me. I'm trying to get that one taken off YouTube. But yeah, I've been in there a couple of times. Started on ultra white collar, And then I think by the turn of that year, that was in June or July time, by the end of that year, I said to my wife, I was only going to be one for charity. And by the end of that year, I've had 4 or 5. So, yeah, it was good, but I'm done now. I don't think I will ever. Too old, Dan.
Yeah.
Too old, mate.
Well, I made the fatal mistake of telling Rich that I'm training hard and, trying to make myself look a bit better. Some might call it a midlife crisis. I'm 45, so, and he went, you shouldn't be telling me that, Dan.
Yeah, exactly. Well, that's it.
He said, if Clint can get in the ring at 54, 55,
get the whole team down.
And I'm like, oh, right.
Be Pete next.
Yeah,
He'll be getting, getting on the bag. The punch bag, not the bag. Not the bag.
For those of you who don't know, Pete's the cameraman standing behind the camera.
No, it's good. This one, I mean, with the female prize fighter, I emceed a show in Southampton, and Hayley Whittle was on there. And she was non-stop punching, and she reminded me very much of Michelle Minades, who she's drawn in the first round. And I said to her at the end of it, I said, look, there's a little prize fighter in Swindon, February. If you want, I can give you details. She said, yeah, let me talk it over with my coach. And the next day she come back and said, yeah, I'm bang up for it. So I phoned Rich and said, look, I've got someone for your female prize fighter. And he phoned me last night, just a little bit more information on her, and she's very good. She's one to watch. She could cause an upset. And then you got Lindsay Moore in the other half as well, we all know Lindsay's most active, probably most improved female fighter on the circuit as well. So it's going to be a cracking little female prize fighter. And then obviously the big one with the 2 middleweights and stuff. It's going to be a big night of boxing, Dan.
Yeah, we're very much, and I'm very much interested in the women's boxing scene. I follow a lot of gyms. I've seen a couple of girls that I follow that have had bad injuries and they're recovering from that and sort of making their way back up the ranks. There's one girl I follow from Coventry. She seems to be drafted in last minute on a lot of these fights. I've seen her on a couple of shows down here, and I watch her on social. She's off to Southend, then she's off to Liverpool, then she's off to here. It's almost like, she gets that last minute phone call, we need somebody to step in.
Yeah.
But the interesting thing about it is sort of, typically at these events, you'd think you'd see a lot of men. A lot of testosterone because their mates are fighting.
Oh, in the crowd, yeah.
But with the women coming through as well, it brings a lot more women in, it makes the evening more... I mean, here at the Mecca, some nights I felt like I've been in a nightclub.
Yeah.
It's been a brilliant atmosphere. Some great takings on the door, loud music, flashing lights, smoke, even fireworks on Steve Merto's show.
Yeah.
And it really makes the event. Whereas we've been to some where it's in like a gymnasium. We did one. I can't remember the promoter's name. It was in the Midlands, and it was just dire. It was just, there was about 40, 50 people there, and it was like his 10th show.
That's the problem. When you get into a leisure centre and you don't fill it, it's very echoey, it's very loud, and you know that there aren't many people there.
Yeah.
But you've got a venue like the Mecca, and we've never had the problem here where we haven't nearly sold out or sold out. It is just packed to the rafters, and you can see that on the videos. People just go back and back and back, and they're up the top as well. And it's just it's a great boxing venue, the Mecca.
Yeah. Well, look, Tom, I'll let you crack on.
Well,
Pleasure
make
to
sure
see
my
you.
phone works for the pressing of the buttons.
Is there a curry happening later?
Oh God, no! There probably will be, especially if Chaz Dowie from Sign Bits. Chaz Dowie Sign Bits. Get all your memorabilia from Chaz Dowie, signbits.co.uk. He's the man. If he's here, I will say yes.
Why, is he buying?
Yeah, well, he's always.
We must owe you a curry. Or 7.
Someone does. Someone does.
Well, look, let's end it there, mate. Let's keep punching and enjoy the rest of your evening, pal.
Cheers, Dan.
Take care,
Good to see
mate.
you, mate.
Take care,
Well
mate. Well done, mate.